Hi everybody. Hello Julie and Luli and Stephanie. Nice to see you all. I'm still trying to catch up here to my page to see. Hi Jessica. Good morning Denise. So I can see the actual comments. There we go. Okay. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate all the shares, guys. Thank you very much for that. All right. So how's everybody doing today? Anybody got their turkey soaking yet? My turkey will be going to soak promptly after we finish this Facebook Live today. So, hi Vicky. Hi Evanelle. Nice to see you all. Thank you guys for hopping in. Hi Donna. Of course, the one time I didn't bring up a drink and I'll probably be coughing. Hi Alethea. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Angela from Nevada. Hi Donna. So what I thought, let me move this over so I can see. I thought I would share a couple of the cards that we made the other day at Stamp Club. This one and this one. These were really simple. And then I did a different version. I liked what I did was I combined two different stamp sets. So I used the Hung with Care, I believe it is. Yes, it is a Hostess set. But I didn't like the mixing of like the, I don't know what you would call the difference. Like one of these is, I guess, more whimsical, and then the other one is a different type of a stamp. So I ended up going back and making it just with the Making Christmas Bright stamp set. But I do like the sentiment better than this one. So those are just a couple different ones. And these were using Poppy Parade and Granny Apple Green. So I thought it was fun. I stamped the line of lights in Memento and then colored them in with the regular Stampin' markers, or you could use blender pens if you don't have all of the colors, and you could just dip it into your ink pad. From cold Indiana. Yeah, I hear that. It's already cold here, but it's going to be super cold tomorrow. And also, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. So thank you guys for joining me. Yesterday I was thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, tomorrow's Wednesday. All right, with all this holiday stuff, it makes everything a little bit more complicated. So the other one that I made was this one. And actually my friend Gwen gave me this idea for this card. She had seen, I think Jennifer McGuire made a card like this. It's a double Z fold, but it's kind of backwards. But we did it with the patina technique. And then I just was trying to make something like very bright. I played around with the happy birthday die. I did it in white. I did it in copper. I actually even did it out of DSP, but it really just didn't pop enough off of the copper background. So I ended up doing it. This was a pool party base. And then I used, not Coastal Cabana. Oh my gosh, I just had a complete brain fart what this is called. Bermuda Bay. Good gravy. So I used Bermuda Bay for this. But what I did was we ran this through the tin tile folder, which is carrying over. So that's pretty cool. And we did it with Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, some early espresso. And then we went in and went over it with the bright copper shimmer paint to give it the patina look. The other thing you could do is you could actually Versamark it and use the copper embossing powder, but I kind of like the shimmer because it also gives it a sparkle in addition to the copper look. So, and then I just added something on the inside there. You could leave this blank, that way you could write happy birthday, or you could add something else to it, or you could also even put a panel onto the back if you wanted to for the happy birthday part. So, Branson, Missouri. Hi, Deborah. I've actually been to Branson once, the country music capital of the world, quite a long time ago. You have all your family. That's awesome. Hi, Diana. I hope you guys are all celebrating with your family or going somewhere so you don't have to cook. So that would be even better, right? Cold Michigan. You could dip Wink of Stella in a color. That's a good idea too. Thanks for sharing that, Pam. So that was the other card that we made. And then I also did this one, which I shared with you guys the other day. So I made them a white version with Whisper White instead of the very vanilla, because I was kind of running low on the Farmhouse DSP, which I love, 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 love. And there's a lot of things that are sold out. So if there's something you're kind of holding out for and you may want to use next year, you might want to get that now, because there's lots of things that are already starting to sell out because they are uber popular. And then here's the other version that we made. But what we're going to make today And again, we can make this in whatever version you guys want. It's up to you. If you need last minute Thanksgiving cards or you're already done with that, we can move on to Christmas. But you could also do this in any other color scheme. Really, you could make it into a birthday card. But this is the card that we did for, I did this one as my show card. And then this is one that I made kind of as the second blend of it, if that makes sense. So this one is the first blend, which you would kind of think it's more subdued, but when you remix the colors and you dip it again, you get another one. And I wonder if, let's see if I kept those. Yep. So these are the two that I made at the party because a couple people didn't show up, so I made some extra cards. So these are the other two that I made. So you can do these in so many different re-inker colors. This was more of like a fall pattern. But we could do this as a Christmas card. You could do it as a birthday card. It's very simple. You probably have done it before. These are the first two that I ever made. So this one is the other one I did with the card class on Friday, and we re-dipped them. And they had a lot of fun, and it's something that apparently it's really neat because it really does pick up. And whatever you don't get, you can even re-dip it. Like this one had a little bit more white space, which I kind of like the white space. This one I filled in a little bit more. This was the first pressing, and then the second pressing ends up giving you more white space. So we could do Christmas, we could do last minute Thanksgiving, we could pick some other colors and make it into a birthday card if you guys are looking for some birthday ideas. The cool part about this, you could do it in shades of blue. Maybe if you needed a sympathy card or you needed a masculine card. Really lots of different options to do. And I'll share two other things. These are actually Linda Cullen gave me these swaps that she created. These were from On Stage. They're really pretty, very simple. She has that little bit of silver. She embossed with the embossing mat the snowflake and then put another one on top of it. And below, I believe that's the quilted the quilted layer there. So this is really pretty. And then this was the other one she did. These are some ideas you guys could have if you have that snowflake die set. I didn't get it, but I love these colors together. I'm going to go with that is probably Soft Sea Foam, Tranquil Tide, Whisper White, and then it looks like a piece of DSP there that maybe she applied shimmer paint to, or this could be DSP that I just don't have. But beautiful cards and very simple, like really simple. Not too Christmassy. You could even make these if you have maybe a friend who has a birthday in the winter or around Christmas and give them this card. Be a great card. But these were both Linda Cullen's. Beautiful, beautiful cards. New Year's cards idea. Well, we're going to have a New Year's blog hop, Diana. So you're going to make sure you want to come back for that. Birthday, not Thanksgiving. That's fine. Thanksgiving's fine. We don't have to do that. Christmas. All right. I see birthday. I've got 3 birthdays. Thank you, Mary. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. All right, so it looks like birthday is winning thus far. So we're going to go with birthday. And what I'm going to ask is this. Do we want to do one that's like a bright color? Or do we want to do like a blue? That way we can have something different to use. So that's your final selection. In the meantime, I'll show you these. This is my Stamparatus bag. All my stuff came in yesterday, so I'll share these with you real quick. It's got some pouches where you can put stuff in. It's got a little clip on it. Put your name tag on there. It also does have a strap that you could add to it, or you could just carry it with the case. And I know this isn't ideal because you can't really see it, but so you can put your Stamparatus in here. Where's mine? And you have a spot where if you want to, you can put your Stamparatus in here. You have all these little slots where you could put your extra. If you have like more than one with these plates, you can put your extra plates in there. These, you'll make sure you save because you could use these for shaker cards. So amazing how many of those I've saved now. It has 2 other slots here for you to be able to put stuff in. So you could take this one off if you wanted to. You could slide it in there. You could leave this right here. It zips up. Oh, duh. That's what this is for. This is to add your big handle if you wanted to put this on. But if for some reason you don't use this, you could also put your name tag on it. But really cute bag. And I really like the colors of it. So it's like a Coastal Cabana, which I think is like back in force now, which is fine with me. And then Night of Navy and White. So this is really, it's very cute. And I'll be honest with you, I have 2 Stamparatus. I bet I could fit both of them in there, so it is pretty roomy. And then you could put like your snips or something else in there if you wanted to. So this is really cool. So now I have to remember when I go to look for my Stamparatus later that I actually put it in the bag, because I'm going to be like, where is it? I know it was just right here and I can't find it. And then this is the other bag. So you can order this through November 30th if you're a demonstrator. So if any of you guys are demos and you missed this, this is a bag that you can pre-order as a demonstrator. And that's the only way to get it right now. Pre-order as a demonstrator, or there's going to be a really good special coming up later. Same thing, another silica pack. And this has the bottom that goes into it. They have it in a bag so it ships easier. But it's also got, this is not the bottom, I'm fibbing. These are the dividers. So you can put these in. But they're pretty cool because you don't have to put them in. If you're going to carry something like really big, you don't have to put them in. Say if you wanted to carry a whole bunch of ink pads, you can put them on the bottom. It also has 2 smaller dividers that you could add in, like here. Put those in there to separate the stuff. Or again, if you don't want the dividers, you can take all this stuff out and just have a super big open space case. It's got a lot of pouches in here as well. It's got a lot of stuff in the front also. There's some zippers, pockets for you to put your punches in. This one doesn't have side pockets, but it also does have a nice pocket in the back, a zipper pocket. So, and I like, the other thing I really like about it is that it's actually foldable. So when if you're not using it, you can store it flat like that. It's got this really cute little tag on it as well. So, and then this one also does have the handle that you can attach, or if you wanted to, if you have like things that you have with the lobster clasps, you could hook stuff to it. I know some people put those onto their scissors, so that's another fun idea. But anyway, this is something you can get as a demonstrator. And I'll show you one last thing. I didn't do a huge, the wonder of Velcro, right? I know, isn't Velcro amazing? I didn't do a huge pre-order because there were things on the pre-order that I really liked. However, there was a couple things that I really wanted from the other one. So I'll show you what I got. This is going to be from the Occasions catalog that's coming out. Anybody out here who is a quilter, who likes to sew, any of that, you are going to absolutely love this designer series paper. It is amazing. Also, if anyone is watching that does not have a demonstrator, I would be happy and proud and love to be yours. All you have to do is send me an email and I can put you on the pre-order list for catalog. If you are a customer of mine, or if you have previously requested a catalog, you will get one as well. But this is called Needlepoint Nook, this designer series paper. Wait till you see some of these, because again, this, you know, this kind of doesn't really do it justice. It's cute and all, but other side is pretty neutral. This one is really pretty. Other side is Poppy Parade. But look, this is what sold me, this one. This is one of the coolest, most detailed designer series. It actually looks like these are, I think these are roses, if that's what they're called with needlepoint. They look real. Like they are, like you could touch them and feel them. They're so cool. It's got a very neutral background on the other side. This one, I love the color combinations. This is going to be great for inspiration for card ideas. The color combinations. Nice, really pretty Highland Heather on the other side. I love this one too. It's very pretty. And then the other side is, looks like, that's like a stitched stem. But it kind of looks like cactuses. So it's really cute. And then we have really soft, more of a boyish, you could use this for maybe baby cards. And then a navy, I guess that's like an X stitch. I did used to do needlepoint, but I only did like those where you kind of fill and follow with filling in the colors, which I really, really loved doing, but I haven't done them in a long time. Post-it notes too, yes ma'am. Post-it notes and Velcro, you got that right, Donna. All right, so this is the other really nice DSP that we could pre-order. This one is called Happiness Blooms. So if you haven't guessed this already, it's a floral. Very bright, but super fun. I love this side. This side is so pretty. I love that color combination. This would be great, four great colors to use for our birthday card, as a matter of fact. Sorry you didn't get that paper. That's okay. You'll be able to get it, Pam, if you're going to do your regular order in December. And we have green. That's the cool part about becoming a demonstrator. You are able to pre-order stuff, so that's pretty nice. We have these pretty flowers. I know my friend Rhonda will love these because they're very bright and cheerful, and she loves cards like that. If she's watching, she'll probably chime in with something funny to say. This one is really pretty as well. And then you have dots. This is cute. I could totally see this would be a great background for a lot of cards. And this one reminds me of something from like the 60s. I love it. So pretty. And then the other side we have stripes. And I think this color combination is really one of my favorites. This is beautiful. It's navy and Call Me Clover. And then the other side, how many great St. Patrick's Day cards could you make out of this, even though it's not a clover? It's really, really fun. All right, so there's that one. And I have one more. This is the butterflies. And I have one more that's a small one, so I'll show you that one as well. And then we'll get down to making our cards. I was kind of limited with my pre-order. There's a gorgeous butterfly bundle, but I didn't order any of that because I was kind of waiting to see what I would want to get if I got like more things together. So these are so pretty. Beautiful. You could even hand trim these out, but they do also have a coordinating punch, and I bet you that one of the two of these matches the punch. And then a really pretty check. I believe that's black, which you don't get that very often. A black check. That's really nice. And then the beautiful butterflies in the garden. Super pretty. And polka dots. So I like that the one side is very colorful and the other one is very neutral. This is looking like Highland Heather in gorgeous great combination. Very pretty. Black and white. This would make a really lovely scrapbook background page if you scrap. And then we have butterflies, and then the swirlies in the background. And then the other side is a black and white butterfly. This would be great too for like if you're making a scrapbook page or even a card, and then you had everything else really bright in the foreground. Get a nice background page. And then some other butterflies. This is on like more of an ombre looking background. And then stripes. Woo, when I looked at that crazy, that gave me a little bit of a cross eye. And then again, some nice kind of like a stem look with the green on green. Really, really pretty. I'm betting it's probably like Granny Apple Green on soft seafoam, or maybe Old Olive on Granny Apple Green. And then the black and white butterflies in the background. So very pretty. And the butterfly stuff is really, really cute. So the other one I got, this is another this is a host set for cling mount. So I love the Happy Mother's Day, but this, I saw so many cards with this little potted plant like stamped in the background, and then you'd stamp one and you could color it either with your blends or with your markers. Super cool idea. And then this is really nice. I think a lot of these are really nice with thinking of you, and even if you took off the wording and you just stamped, you could mask it or you could trim it if you wanted to, and you stamped just the flower, that'll be really pretty. But this is a beautiful set. I like the very clean lines of this. It'll make it really fun to color in. Oh, you got the butterfly DSP as a freebie. That's awesome. I got a lot of stuff as a freebie. I got the gingham, and what else did I get? A couple other stamp sets. So there are some really nice ribbons. There is a ribbon combo pack. This was in kind of like a Valentine's bundle. And I don't know what the colors are because, of course, my catalog is not standing here next to me. Let me see if I can see it real quick. What colors these are. Now, I'm going to go with Lovely Lipstick and then Petal Pink. But this is kind of reminiscent of that red ribbon that we had a while back for Christmas. It's really pretty with the stitching on the edge. And the two of these together I thought were really pretty. As if I need more ribbon, but whatever. And then a Whisper White. This is a flax ribbon. And this one I just couldn't resist. Look how pretty this is. Sorry, they have it taped. I have to save this piece of tape so I can stick it back on here. But it's really... I didn't see it in person, but it looks so soft and flexible. Plus, you could color it to any color using your Stampin' Blends or your markers. But I thought this would make just gorgeous bows. So, let's see how easy that was to make on camera the first time. This is going to be like my favorite ribbon. But it makes really pretty bows. So that is Whisper White Flax Ribbon. And again, I really like when they do a lot of stuff in white because it gives you the opportunity that if you want to make something custom with a color, then all you have to do is either use your markers or your Stampin' Blends and you can color it. So I think that's pretty cool. And then I have two other things. I got also some Old Olive linen thread, which it looks like they kind of got away from wrapping it on the cardboard piece and they put it on these instead, which are probably going to be way easier to store, except if you already have something set up that way. So I like the way this linen thread is. And then I got some happiness blooms. This goes with that really bright, colorful stamp set. These little dots. Thought they were really cool. You got to add these to cards just to kind of fun them up a little bit. And then the other thing, this is all part of a bundle. So I'll show you this. This is, and this one and that other one I showed you are both in the cling mount. So these are in the new cling mount stamps. So the stickers are going to actually stick to them. But this is Geared Up Garage. So this also has a matching Thinlit set. And I'll tell you, they have a lot of really cool, if you've been looking for something manly or more masculine or even more neutral, or for maybe one of your girlfriends who likes muscle cars or horses, there's a lot of really great stuff that's going to come out in the Occasions catalog. I think you guys will be really, really happy with it. I was really happy. It was like the 3 pages that were together like made my day. So this one coordinates. You have you can cut out your Happy Father's Day. You have an engine, and I'll show you this part in a second. There is a cutout for the, I believe that, I'm going to go with that as a Mustang muscle car, because that's what it looks like to me. But they also have one that goes with the Best Dad. This is a little bit reminiscent. I'll show you a different one that matches. Reminiscent of the Ford symbol, I believe. They have the gas tank. Lots of cool stuff, which is really, really neat. And then these also you could use to cut out You Jumpstart My Heart. Almost fits in All Geared Up to Celebrate, but I'm going to share something else with you guys in the next week or so. I have seen so many people doing this lately, and I keep meaning to do it. But we're going to do something with our punches, and I'm going to show you guys something to make that'll be pretty fun to share. So we have, I'm going to grab a couple of these out. I think how many we have? Probably like 4 of each. Let's see if I can find the end piece. So this is a DSP stack. I think that looks like it. So you have wrenches, tools, all kinds of fun stuff on black. Tranquil Tide with some nuts. Bolts. Nuts. They're nuts. My grandfather would be very upset. I didn't know the difference. Some oil tanks and gas tanks. Again on another black. Keys and dice. How cute is that? And then you have your engines on the back. There's gears. Another thing you have in here too, which I keep failing to show you the other side because there's one side and the other side, are these gears that you could cut out. You could cut these out with that galvanized paper. You could cut these out with tin, with copper. You could cut them out with gray and really rough them up. So these would be really, really cool. But they have the gears and then yellow. I really like this one. I think this is one of my favorite ones. Put that in the correct direction. Little map. Motorcycles. I'm sure this could probably go well too with the One Wild Ride, which coincidentally I did finally get to meet Dawn Griffith and her husband when I went to center stage, so that was really fun. She's the one that designed the One Wild Ride for her $1 million stamp set. We have all these directional signs. A nice, this is probably Grapefruit Grove, and look at that. My nieces, which is this crazy, they absolutely love antique cars. So I'm going to have to make some sort of card and give this to them. And then we have steering wheels. Nice red. They have a lot of neutral too. Little fluid lines. Speedometers. Tire tracks, because who doesn't have tire tracks, right? So I think we're back to the beginning with that one. But those are really, they're really, really fun. And then the other thing that goes with this bundle... And I bought 2 of these because I thought these were so cool, and I'm going to actually make myself use them. But they're metal elements. But look, they have keys and wrenches. Aren't they just like adorable? So I got 2 packs of these. So I'm planning on giving these out a lot. I'm actually going to use them. I'm making a promise to myself that I'm not going to just have them here and keep them because I have to have them. I have to give them away. Yes, and the die cuts do fit the paper. You're absolutely right, Mary. Yep. So let me move all this out of the way. And we will move on to our card for today. I know we were looking at something back here, and I wanted to look at these colors. What was the one? I feel like it was one of the colors in the background of one of these papers. Wasn't those? I think it was this one. I feel like it was this. Let me see if I can find that one, because that was a really pretty color combination. should have kept it out. That would have been smart. This one. Let's do a card with the shaving cream with these colors. Okay, so on the back of these, just in case you don't know, if this is your first time, they have the name of your paper pack, and they also have all the colors that coordinate, so it makes it very effortless. So even though I may throw away the plastic, I always keep this back sheet, and then I'll buy the 12 by 12 sheet protectors that we sell, and I slide them in, so it makes it really easy to keep it all together. So we have here, it's saying Calypso Coral, which obviously, color, Call Me Clover, and I'm thinking that is Soft Sea Foam, or it might be Mint Macaron. So let's get this out. So we'll get out Mint Macaron. Lovely, nope, not lovely lipstick. That's a little too much. Calypso Coral. Petal Pink maybe? And I feel like Call Me Clover. Call Me Clover. We're going to use these four. Now I got the pads out just because it's easier than trying to grab the re-inkers, but I'm going to get the re-inkers out. Let me move this box over. One other thing, I want to let you know there is going to be a special coming up starting on Friday, as in the day after Thanksgiving. They're going to have 10% off paper and embellishments. So that'll be Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday and Monday, they're going to have 10% off stamps and kits. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, they're going to have 10% off tools and ink. Now, one thing you have to remember is once one thing ends, you can't carry it over to the other one. So I know that's a little bit of a stinker. But anyway, I will tell you, what else did I print out here? I will post a list of a little bit more of what they actually have that's going to be on special. Specifically, there are a few things excluded that you can't get the Stamparatus or the Big Shot or anything. But you can see me going broke next year. Well, Cindy, you know there's a way to solve that. If you sign up as a demonstrator, then you won't be as broke anyway. So I picked out, let's see, Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Call Me Clover, and oh my gosh, and look at that. I don't have a Mint Macaron re-inker. You know why I bought the new one? So I'm going to use my old one from when it was a color a long time ago. So let me put these back. Way they're out of the way. Oops. And then I will show you. Did anybody get their December paper pumpkin kit yesterday? This is the first kit that, if you guys haven't seen these, I actually put all of these together. And I keep having like these sidebars of what I'm doing here. But I put all these cards together, and there were, I kind of switched up some of them, but they have two different plaids, and then some of them I made one way and some of them I made the other because they had directions for the other one. But then I did these too. Aren't they cute? So I thought I was going to give these out. So fun. This is like one of the first kits that I opened right up and actually put right together, which kind of never happens. I would kind of embarrassed to tell you how many of them I'm standing next to that I haven't put together. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to get out an old plate that you don't really need anymore. And you know what I forgot to grab was my rag. So I'm going to have to run and grab that real quick. I got some very cheap shaving cream. I got this at Target for 99 cents. Does smell like the ocean. Smells pretty good considering shaving cream. You can get it at the dollar store, but I kind of was like, well, for 99 cents, I didn't really want to go make a special trip to the dollar store. So I got this at Target. You can probably get it at Walmart. You don't want to get gel. You have to get foam, because if you get gel, it's not going to do the same thing. So you want to make sure that you shake it really well. You also want to make sure that you have like some sort of a plastic knife or something to smooth it. You can reuse it, so it's kind of like, this will be like my shaving cream knife, as I have my re-inker spoon, so I'll keep this in my tools. But the plates, I did let this sit. You can probably do lots of cards. You could probably knock out, I would bet you, 10 to 15 cards at least from one foam. It just depends on what you want to do with it and how much time you have. But you can make these all different. You could make a whole bunch of different ones. I just have an extra one in case I need to smear something off. So kind of like a catcher plate. So I am going to shake up my foam. And the thing is, when you do your foam, you don't want to spray it down because of the way the foam comes out. So I'm going to spray it flat. And you really don't need a lot. That's plenty to make several cards. So I'm going to cut it off there, because I ended up throwing away more than I wanted to. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just take your knife and kind of smooth it. That way you have a flatter surface to dip your paper into. I did these the other day with thick Whisper White. Kind of just want it like even. It doesn't have to be exact. You could probably use regular Whisper White. You could also use Thick Very Vanilla. But I did it with Thick Whisper White just to see how it played. I also have done it with regular Whisper White and it worked just fine as well. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add our anchors. I just have to grab my towel. I'll be back in 1 sec. Okay, sorry, running down the hall trying not to break my neck. So these are my my towels that I just reused. These are like really old tea towels. These are like those lint-free towels. And even though I did wash this, they are still stained, but they're completely clean and usable. So I kind of keep these handy just in case I need them for wiping something off. So we're going to, let me grab my paper. I already have some paper cut up. So these are cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And then all we have to do is add our, so I'm going to do 3 of them, just so you can see what the 3 different presses look like. But I have 3 different pieces so you can see what they look like. And then we'll add the background cards to them afterwards. So you want to start with your lightest color. So we'll start with Petal Pink. And I'm going to add 5. Well, I'll do 6. Okay. So then the next lightest ink would be technically Mint Macaron. Even though I know it doesn't look very light. Then we'll go with Calypso Coral. And you can keep these out because if you want, you can always add more color. And then Call Me Clover. I'm only going to do 2 of these. Oops. Well, there was 2. That was accidental. So then you're going to just take your knife and you kind of swirl it around, kind of cut through like you do if you're making marble brownies or a marble cake. You can do as much as you want, little as you want, doesn't really matter. Okay, and then I'm going to put this over here on the side. And this is where your little extra cloth will come in handy because you can set that down. So then you're going to just take your paper, doesn't matter what side, and just press it in. Lift it up. Okay, so here is where if you have your second sheet or your second paper plate, you can kind of scrape this off. So you just scrape it off. You can also do it with the towel. And again, I washed these before. They do come out. So this one is pretty sparse. So since I said I do like white space, however, I want it to be a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just remix this. Doesn't even have to be a lot. And you'll notice every time these will never ever look the same. Even if you put the exact same amount of dots on them, they always look a little different. And then you can redip whatever spots you missed. I'm just going to add just a little bit more because I want to have still that white space in the middle. And then you take your towel again, just kind of wipe it off, just like that. Okay, so there's one. And this is that easy clean mat. So the thing underneath of it, no matter what gets on it, it does wipe off. Sometimes it will stain occasionally, but it's pretty nice because it cleans off very easily. So then the next time, I'm just going to kind of smooth it back out a little bit. I'll add in this. Okay, just like that. And now I'm going to dip again. All right, so you can spread this off. And these are actually, the colors in them are really light. So what I'm going to do for the third, before I redip this, is I'm going to add a little bit more of the Calypso Coral to it. When you have very strong colors, I guess probably adds a little bit more. But since those are 2 are pretty dark, and I'm going to add a little bit more of the clover. There we go. And then I'm going to wipe this off. Since I did that with my knife, I'm just going to wipe this just with my towel. And the other thing that's funny is, since I did this with my knife that actually has a little bit of a serrated edge here, you'll notice in these, it has like a little bit of a serrated bumpy look, which is kind of neat, but let me just mix this up a little bit. All right, and And I'm going to use the flat side this time. But it will give you all these really neat splotches of color. And the other cool thing was, we had one person that didn't really like the way their colors blended at a certain side. So this is regular Whisper White. So it definitely is a bit floppier than thick Whisper White. So I will say, if I were to make an advising, I would tell you to definitely use thick Whisper White because it's going to hold up a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to grab, see if I can grab a piece of thick Whisper White just so I can show you the difference. So I have a half a sheet here. I'm going to just trim this down to 4 inches and then cut 2 pieces at 5 1/4 so I can show you the difference. So the thick Whisper White definitely, I think, personally works better than the regular Whisper White. Okay, so I'm going to swirl this around again. And you can even like take your other stuff that you took off, add it back in if you wanted to. And I'm going to press this on. So this is the thick Whisper White. And this definitely is, it's not a filthy, dirty project, but it definitely isn't super duper clean. So I'm going to just scrape the color off. And there's that piece. This one holds up better. Now, one other thing you have to keep in mind, if you're going to put any, and this is just in case anybody's like, oh, I got to go put my turkey in or something, I'm leaving. If you're going to adhere something to this, you have to use Tombow liquid glue because snail will not stick because of the shaving cream. So just keep that in mind. So always going to be a little bit different. I'm going to dip one more, but I want to add in a little bit more of the pinks. I'm going to put a little bit more Calypso Coral. And I'm going to put in a little bit more of that petal pink. You could also use a Flirty Flamingo. It would look really pretty on this as well, because it would kind of give that pop of a brighter pink. But this is a great thing to do if you have maybe some cold weather coming and you really don't want to go outside and you can get a head start on all of your birthday cards for next year. And it is No Shave November, so if your husband's shaving or you're stopping shaving your legs for the season, you can use up all your extra shaving cream. This one turned out really pretty. I really like the swirls on that. So I'm going to close these two up. Let me see if I can do this without making a holy mess. Hold on one second. Put these together. So if you want to save them and maybe you're going to like do something, you can always put one lid on top of the other and kind of just set them on the side. But they won't stay fluffy for super long. So it's not like you could save it for a day, probably a couple hours, because eventually that foam is going to start to lose its fluff. So I just wiped off my knife and I'm going to put this over here with my tools. Oops, and then I'm going to just wipe the rest of this off. And again, as long as you have something to clean off of, you could do this on a nice mat like this. And you can tell between the two, so the two cards, the thick Whisper White definitely isn't curling as much, okay? And it also takes the ink, I think, a little bit differently. It gives it more of the swirly, where this was kind of picking up in spots. But you can always do it different. I'm not 100% sure. You probably could do this on glossy cardstock too, but I think I'd have to try it first. So as a matter of fact, since we have it here to save you guys, let me just do that one time. I'm going to pop this back out and we'll just see if it works or not. That way we'll know and you guys won't waste your glossy paper. I'll just do mine. I might even have a piece that's already a little bit cut. I'm going to just use a little scrap since I have one out. So this is glossy cardstock. So let me grab my knife. I just want to swirl these together a little bit more just to keep them in there. And the other thing is too, once you get the colors, sometimes the colors will bleed a little bit and make like a funky color. So that's the other reason why you probably don't want to mix it too much and you want to make your presses. So here's the glossy. I'm going to stick this down. See what this looks like. It looks like it's stuck. Hold on, let me see. Let me wipe this off. Oh, that looks really cool. I've never done this before. I can't believe it's taking me this long to actually try this. I guess that's probably like the worst part. All right, let me put this back down here. Grab my, let me wipe this off. I'm gonna set this clean off my knife. And this stuff does smell pretty good. It smells like the ocean. I know some people said they don't really like the smell of shaving cream. And then I'm gonna just wipe this off. This, I will say, is kind of going a little bit more the way of the white, where it is a little bit, or the regular Whisper White is a little bit flimsier, but it's very soft. What a cool idea. How nice is that? So now you know. Oh my gosh, you know, you use glossy. That's cool, Nancy. I never would have thought of that, because sometimes, you know, the stuff doesn't stick to glossy like the way you think it would, but this looks super, super cool. Okay, let me wipe this. Now, if you're one of the people that uses photo paper instead of glossy, it probably is going to give you a different look a little bit more, and it probably will be a little bit more sturdy. Now, one other thing you can do, so if you're in a hurry, and I'm going to just do this real quick so you guys can see. If you're in a hurry, you can dry these a little bit more with your heat tool. So let me just plug this in. I took all this stuff with me when I went to my card thing and didn't plug it in. So I'm going to hit these real quick with the heat tool. Very gently on the glossy though, because you know that'll curl. Okay. So then you can cut up. You could do it on mint. You could do it on, you have right here, you could have 4 different cards. You can even use this one just as a panel if you wanted to, but we could do one on mint macaron. Let's see if I have a piece cut on this one already. I think I do. Oh, there's 2. So we can do, what size are these? These look small. Yeah, these are exactly 4 by 5 1/4. So these are a little bit small, but for the sake of it, I'll trim one of them down and I'll use the other one as it is. And we can do, is that powder pink that I used or petal pink? I think it was petal. Yeah, petal pink. So I don't want to pull powder pink. That's not going to match. We could do one on Calypso Coral. Here is, I'm going to trim this one out. This is the petal pink. Isn't it funny when you put your cardstock away and then if you change like one little thing up, I don't know how you guys store yours. It's like you can't find what it is that you're looking for. Or it could just be because I'm live and I can't find it. And then we have one for Calypso Coral, which coincidentally, I really wasn't like a super fan of the petal pink, but I really like it with these colors together. Look what a great color scheme that is. So we'll trim one of these down. We'll leave one of them large. I'm going to trim this one and we will just put together. So this is a full card. So I'm going to just score this at 5 1/2 and 4 1/4. And we'll put these together. Let me trim this one down a little bit. I'm going to flip it over just so it's kind of away from the shaving cream. Trim that down to 5. The other one I'm going to just put directly, even though it's going to fill the whole front. We'll do that one that way. Let me score these. And I think this one is probably the same. Yeah, I must have used these for something else that I trimmed them down to 4 because that's unusual, even for me. What are these? There we go, 4 1/4. Okay, so when you put these down, you definitely have to make sure that you use, I've been using the Tombow quite a lot, and I'm going to say with just the fact that it's a little bit bumpy, either use Tombow or you might want to use Fast Fuse. And I'm just going to put these on kind of in varying spots. It doesn't really matter. But you can definitely feel that the Whisper White cards, the ones that have the Whisper White panels, the nice part about this too with the Tombow is if you need to, you can move it a little bit. They're definitely a little bit wigglier. This is. So I'm going to put my block on top of it just to make sure that it actually goes down. Okay, so there's 1. think one of these I cut down, so we'll put this one on. This is another one that's the Whisper White because it's just not quite as flat. Oops. Not quite as flat as if you had your other panel. Just wipe this off. Okay, so I'm going to fold this over. And then the cool part about this is, I'm going to put this on top. Just stack them all together. You can have all these cards where you can add something to them. And you don't have to worry about, you could put a sentiment on them later. You could have them all ready just in case you needed them. You could do like a die cut with that happy birthday and add it to them. But you make yourself messy one time. Make sure that's lined up on there. Let me just move this just a little bit. Yeah, so you can make a messy mess one time. Put these all together, let them dry, let them set underneath of this so they are all very nice and flat. This one was, all right, I'll put this one on here. And then what I'll do is with the strip we did with the glossy, I'll put that onto that Mint Macaroon panel and then add something to it. And I do have to tell you one thing, it might take a little bit longer for this blog post to get posted because I am in the process of moving my blog over to a different host. So if I make any posts at this point, unfortunately, then they're going to have to remove it. So this one might not get posted today, but it will get posted as soon as I possibly can. So let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, this will be cool. So we could put like a little panel. Since we have this one out, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to grab a little piece of, is this smoky slate, I believe? No, gray granite. So let me measure what this is, and we're going to add a little something to this to make it look cool. So this is 2 inches by 4.5. So I'm going to cut this at, I'm going to go with 4 3/4. Let's see if we can fit this. Just 2.5. And you really don't even need a piece this big, but just to kind of do like that block on block look, we'll see what this looks like. So let me take my card and fold it. Hopefully I didn't cut it too big. That's not going to fit. You can put like this. You could either layer it on there. We could do one over. I think I'm going to trim this down. I'm going to put this to the same size. So that was 4.5. I haven't made cards in so long. I haven't made any cards in the past probably week because with unpacking and everything, so I'm getting a little carried away here. There we go. We'll lay that there. So I'm going to put this here, and then I'll do is I'll finish it with the sentiment when I have time after I get my turkey in, and I'll post them all. You used your flocking? Oh my gosh. Wow, you're pulling out all the oldies and goodies there, huh? So I'm going to lay this down here. And I'm going to put my glossy on, and I'm just going to make sure I like it before I finally press it down. I still have all that mica flake that I really should use for some Christmas cards because I loved that stuff. That stuff was really cool. And we did use, when we did those happy birthday cards, the ones that I showed you with the Bermuda Bay happy birthday, we did use the Sizzix adhesive sheets, which are, they make that stuff so much easier. But there's that. And then what I'll do is I'll put like a sentiment across the top of it. But let me just sit this one here for a second so it stays. And then I'll put these out so you guys can see them. But I know that flock, never get rid of crafting stuff. That's too funny. Yeah, we if you go back and watch, we did some really cool stuff. I shared some on-stage things and everything, but these are so pretty. I mean, look at them. They're all completely different with the different backgrounds. This is Calypso Coral. We have Petal Pink. And some of them are on Thick Whisper White. Some of them are on regular. I would definitely suggest using the Thick Whisper White. And then this last one we made that's really soft is with, and it could be soft too because it was the last press. But this was on glossy cardstock. So look, that's like 4 cards. All you have to do is add sentiments to it. You could add a little bit of an embellishment if you wanted to. But super fun. I think these are really... This is like a great technique if you have to make a whole lot of cards. And I am doing a craft show, my very first one ever. I'm like still a little bit nervous because I don't know why, but I am. But I'm gonna, I have like 2 boxes of cards that I'm gonna set up. So I think I'm just gonna finish these as like all occasions or birthday cards. And then I could do another set with blues, which would be really good. Like neutrals would even be good. I could do neutrals or blues for sympathy cards. Oh, you could make some nice snowflakes. Yeah. Great idea. Great idea, snowflakes with the flocking. That'd be really pretty. So Donna, that's your job. You got to get on that and share it with us. Even if it's a different snowflake, so we can see what it looks like. You never get rid of crafting stuff either. You know what, Chris? I have so much stuff that I have like kind of in different places, like the mica flake, because I love it. And I can make a shaker card with it. I think it's really fun to use, especially for little kids, because they love shakers, which is also why I suggest if you have these little gel packs, that's like something else you can add in there. So it's like a different element. So you could have balls. You could add like a little bit of color to these. You could probably even use these and add the, like a little bit of shimmer paint to them. Probably not the copper, because that might be a little bit dark. But roll them around, and that would be like a whole nother element then you could add. So you could have like the flake, and then you could have balls, or you could have oh my gosh, I just completely forgot the word for it. And I probably have them here, but I don't know where I put them. The little shape embellishment ones that we have, and you could add this to it. But these, I mean, you get these with everything, which I threw them away for a long time, but I have packs and packs of them now, and I'll just keep them in the little containers that the Stampin' Up! Embellishment comes in. I'll put them in, add a drop of re-anchor, shake it around, but it's a super idea. And then yeah, you can do custom colors. So such good ideas. So thank you guys, and I enjoy when you guys are on here, because it also is really helpful to all of you and to me to get the ideas that you guys have to share. So I think that's really cool. So thank you very much. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, but thank you for joining me every week almost, and we make something fun. We learn lots of new ideas. I truly appreciate all of your support and your ideas and the nice words that you have to share. You guys have no idea how much all that stuff means to me. It's really, really, it's very important. Truly, from the bottom of my heart. And I'm gonna be sending out the beginnings of my holiday helper emails. So it's basically, there's 13, but I'm adding in a 14th, one of my own personally, emails that'll give you ideas of stuff that you can make. So if you aren't on that list, all you have to do is send me your name to rachthestamper@gmail.com, and I'll add you. I'm gonna start sending those out, I believe either this weekend or next week. That way you guys can get started. There's a lot of really cool ideas. They're simple. There's ones that are a little more complex, but there are lots of fun things to do. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. If for some reason you missed this, you know you can always hop back on Facebook. It'll be on the replay. I will download it over to YouTube later on as well. And if you have any questions, you can hit me up at an email at rachthestamper@gmail.com. If you're going to shop, I would truly appreciate if you use that hostess code that's at the top. And I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you, if not sooner, next Wednesday, 9:30, right here on Wednesday, Eastern Standard Time. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, guys. Thank you. I'm thankful for you all. Have a good one.